Hey, how's it going, everyone? We got Brandon here, who just got first place at our Cardfight Vanguard Overdress tournament with 15 players, 4-round Swiss. So tell us how it went for you.
So we did 4 rounds today. Today's first the standard Vanguard Overdress tourney. I ran Dark States, Baron Magnus, as you can see here. So I guess I could start off with the deck list. This is my first deck profile, so bear with me. So of course we run the main grade 3 Baron Magnus, and we run 4 copies. So we do have our 3 personas to go with it. Basically you need to run a max copies of it because you need to try and get extra draw and get stronger front row. And then so there goes for that. And then of course grade 2 ride would be Electro Spartan. So I also run 4 copies of that as well. This is basically one of the key parts of the deck. I know some people, I did a lot of research online, YouTube, deck profiles, Overlord Reborn articles. Some people run 3, but I say 4 is better because you need all the soul charge you can get. You need to get to 15 by at least your 4th turn, right? Your 4th turn. 3 would be better, but 4 is fine too, and because it's soul charges too for 1 counterblast only, which I think is fairly cheap. And then for the grade 1 ride up, we do Deep Sonicer. And for this one, I only run 3 instead of the playset of 4 because it is a good card, but I don't want to see it too often. I already have 1 in ride, because with the Baron Magnus's 15 skill, you wanna at least you'll have 1 in soul already. So when you ride and have 15, you can call it out. And chances are you probably soul charge one of them, and then the 3rd one might be damage checked or something like that, or it could be in hand. And basically you can put it in a boost, and then you can, with 15 soul in the field, you can soul charge it and get both out if you're going for a game. So there goes the ride deck, or before that, the starter. So this is not the starter. The starter for Baron Magnus should be Uncanny Burning, but for me, I like to run Matt from the starter deck for Bruce Dark States, just to because when I open this up in the stand-up Vanguard, they think I'm gonna be running Bruce, but they're preparing for Bruce. But when I ride this card and ride from the ride deck, Deep Sonicer, they're like, oh, it's Baron Magnus. So it just gets them caught off guard. So there's that. So aside from the ride deck and the lines for that, I'll go start off with the grade 0s, the triggers. So of course we get 1 Dark States over trigger. This came up a lot. I think I got it in 2 of the 4 of my games. It basically, once I checked it, it basically secured the game. It was every time I checked it, it was for drive check. So I got the 10k to the front to the Vanguard and then +1 crit, making it making them have to guard more, waste their PGs. As for the additional effect to 100 million, I just put it to rear. I never put it to van, so they have to waste another PG basically. So there's the over trigger. And then next we have the 4 starter deck critical triggers from the Dark States starter deck. This is a staple along with 4 from the 4 crits from the booster set. You want 8, of course, because you need to try and end the game as fast as possible before your opponent ramps up and begins to retaliate back. Next for the triggers, 3 draw. So I see a lot of debates for some people because you draw so much in this deck. Baron Magnus's draw is 1 when you have 5 or more. What else draws? The over trigger, of course, draws when you damage check it or drive check it. People were saying to run 3 front because you don't want to draw as much, but I say 3 draw because you need to try and get those soul charging pieces a lot, like Electro Spartan or Curtis. Curtis, because it's also a soul charge 2, or a Brother Soul. Soul charge 1, soul charge 2. Yeah, and then also this is also an inclusion to the over the front because the front doesn't really work with this deck. With the front triggers, you're gonna call them back into soul and call them out, and then you don't get the 10k from that because it's being absorbed in soul. And when another thing is if you start off with this, you don't have to mulligan it because you could just discard it for your grade 1 Deep Sonicer, and then because it's only a 5k card. So that's it for draws. And then of course you run the standard 4 heal. Doesn't matter if it's from the starter deck or the booster set, but basically you want to try and mitigate your damage as much as possible, so you don't you can try and save yourself some time and survive longer to the late game, which is when you excel. Now grade 1s, so we do run the 4 Brother Soul. I was really debating if I should take 1 out and put a different card in or anything else, but I think 4 is good because you need to try and push for the 15 in soul. 10 is good for the grade for first grade 3 ride, but 4 is but having 4 makes it easier to get to that, and then to 15 as well. And you can also discard this for the PG, because if you have 15, like if you get this late, you can discard it. It's a free discard because you don't need any more. You don't want to deck yourself out. More grade 1s PG, you run max copies. You need to save this to like guard their like over trigger on their van if they drive check it. It did come up once when I guarded on their van thinking they would get the over, and it came through. So there's that. This card is the one I recently tagged. Last night I was building the deck. I stayed up till 2 trying to think of what ways, like what things I could add in. Like there was this grade 1 that puts it in the soul axe skill, and you get 2k, but that didn't really fit with my deck because it doesn't get magic numbers when you basically put it in the soul and give 2k, because it only works in the 1 and 3. A grade 1 8k will only get 10k, and a grade 3 13k will get 15. But on grade 2, since I don't have any grade 2s, it's useless. So I put the Blitz Order Beat Scram, 3 of it. I was thinking about running 4, but I don't think 4 is too cloggy because it's a Blitz Order, and Blitz Orders can only be played once per turn. So if I have 2 or more in hand, it's kind of a dead card when I go on guard. So there's 3 of that. Next, we have max full playset, 4 copies of the Selfish Engraver. This came in really clutch, especially during the final round, the 4th round against Anson. Basically, it allows the deck to turn on. It's your counter charger and a soul charger on hit. You want to see this in your hand, obviously, and then when you ride Baron Magnus on top of Electro Spartan, you want to probably save it in your hand and put it in the soul. So when you have 15 soul with Baron Magnus, you can call it out, and then you can counter charge and kind of like a game of pool. You want to like set yourself up for the next turn, the next shot. So you want to definitely like put 4 of this so you can do it next turn in case like they somehow survive your onslaught. So that's it for, I don't know, one more grade 1. This one is Simone. So this didn't really came up. I kind of discarded it a lot for the ride deck. I know it has potential, like it's just not today, but like basically it's like when they come to guard, when this boosts, you counterblast 1, and you basically make them when they come to guard this boosted attack, they have to guard 2 or more. So it didn't come up, but I'm sure this could be something else, but I'm sure like it could, when it does come up, it is good. And then backup grade 3, we play 4 Curtis. Curtis, just like the Electro Spartans, the Brother Soul. These all soul charge 2. Curtis for when Bear Max is on van, Electro Spartan for counterblast, and then Soul the Brother Soul for soul charge 2. You want to see like I counted, so I know 15 is the overall goal. I know if you have 1 of this in hand, the grade line, the grade for this, you get, if you ride without soul charging anything, you get 6 in soul. If you have 1 of this, you'll get, or when you're on grade 2, you'll have 5, or you have 3. But when you have this, you'll have 5 in soul because you soul charge 1 from this. So that when you have 5 in soul, this is basically online, the beat scram on turn 2. So you definitely want to see this more often. Other than that, that's it for the grade 1s, or not the grade. Well, there's 1 more grade 3. Sorry. 2 Crawl You Insects. This card, I run it at 2 because I don't want to see it too often. It's another order once per turn. You don't want to see too many, along with Brother Soul gets cloggy or Beat Scram, of course. Beat Scram, it's like you want to see like 1 or 2 in hand. But basically, it's an extra soul charge. It costs counterblast, but you have Selfish Engraver to counter charge it, and you give something like on turn, the first grade 3 ride, you get something like 20k because you have 10 in soul. But on your 4th turn, you get 30k or something, and you draw a card. So it soul charges and it draws a card, so it kind of goes through your deck too much. So you don't want to have too much of it. I think 2 is perfect because you might soul charge it, and you might draw the other one, or you might damage check it, and you might draw the other one and use it. So it's really good in my opinion. And
they say running 2 is like at least you'll see it
once. I want to see it once, but if I get 2, I can get it on turn 3 ride. That's 1, and then Persona or the turn 4, play it again, and that's it. That's all you need, and then it should be game by that. And that's basically my deck list.
Cool. With the 4 rounds, what did you play against?
So round 1, I believe I played against, I think it was Bastion. Like, it's been a long day. This is my second tourney of the day. The first one was at Kong's in Pleasanton, and now I think it's Bastion. I played against, was Bastion? Yeah, I think it was Bastion, and it was a hard matchup. Like, I think Bastion's the hardest matchup. It is the meta contender of this format for set 1. I don't know how I did it. I think I believe I over-triggered them, and that was kind of secured the deal. My Vanguard was just strong enough to be able to overcome their... they had to guard more, and so they ran out of shield.
When in doubt, 10 million?
100 million.
100 million.
Close enough, though. But round 2, I believe I versed a Dark States player. It was Bruce, I think, and then it was a hard matchup as well. I got 15 in Soul for Baron Magnus on the first grade 3 ride, and so that kind of sealed the deal for them because I had 5 attacks just right there. What really got me the 15, so like I said before, you need to have, the ride line, without Soul using a card, you'll get 6 in the Soul, one for Sonicer. When you write nothing for this, but when you write this just puts 2 in the Soul, and then this gives you 3, and then this one gives 5. So like I said, Beat Scram is online. But then if you get, you need to have 4 Soul Charge 2s. Is what let me see if I can do a different one. So this, maybe one more of that, and Curtis. Where's Curtis? Curtis is not there. So something like this, you want to see. If you see 2 Soul Charge 2s, you're good for the first grade 3 ride because it's 6 plus 4, that's 10. But you want to see eventually in your game, you want to see 4 Soul Charges. This is 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, and then plus 6 is 14. Then you need like one more. It could be one more Soul Charge or the 15th. It could be your Persona. Well, Persona will come turn 4, and then or it could be Selfish Engraver. When you have 10 or more, or Selfish Engraver here. This can be your 15th. It could be Crawl You Insects. This was good too. Soul Charge 1. Of course, you kind of have to manage your counterblast, so watch out for that. So yeah, these 2 will definitely make it, or just another Soul Charge 2. That's fine too. So there's that. Kind of got sidetracked. Round 3, I fought my friend John. Shout out to John and my friend Paul that came to the beat that gave me a ride and came us all the way out here from Kong's. Round 3 was John. Again, I got the 15 in Soul by the first grade 3 ride. So it was deadly. He couldn't do too much. His hand was depleted by the turn when he rode his grade 3, and he couldn't really find a rush because I just like sealed the deal with him that early. I depleted his hand, and his field was kind of empty because I soul charged it with, or I absorbed everything up with Baron Magnus. So there was that, and round 4 was against like my most like formidable opponent, Anson. It was my first time fighting him, and I heard a lot from Matt that he's like a really strong player. Believe it or not, like he's like really strong. And what makes him really strong is like the fact that he can't see, he's blind, and like he has help. But like even through the fact that he's like he can't see, but like he listens carefully, and like if you like he knows, like he remembers what's on the board. Like he has a really good memory knowledge. So I love that about him. I wish to fight him more. He was playing Valiente, probably my hardest matchup. He did everything he could, but I kept getting the 15 in Soul on the first grade 3 round. I kept mulliganing for my Soul Charge 2s. So, and then like any 4 of these to get my 15. And I just ended and that's just how that was it. That's all she wrote. So, yeah, and that's what got me the tourney overall.
Cool. Right. Yeah. Man, definitely you did your homework. Great explanation on everything. There's definitely a lot of care that went into this deck. Your ratio, everything had a reason. Even if whatever you saw online, you still went with your gut instincts of the preference ratio that accommodated to you and your play style. And you actually did a double take on the tournament back at Kong's and here in Center Stage. So, what place did you get at Kong's?
3-1. I lost the first round. It was to my friend Yuli. Shout out to Yuli. He was playing Bastion, and I know Bastion in Japan. It has like a 25 to 35% win rate on this pie graph or whatever. So like, it was a hard matchup. What happened there was like I lost because I drew too many orders or cards without shield. Like I kind of hate orders. Like it doesn't have shield value. Grade 3s, no shield value. I have like a hand like something like this, and I couldn't guard his onslaught. Like he critted me and like stuff like that. And that was all she wrote.
Is it crazy to know how different the shield value is in Overdress?
Yeah, like there's only 5K and 15 that exists. Grade 1's 5K, grade 0's all 15K, and then the draw of course 5K. So like that reminds me, there's another thing I could show you guys, another tip. So I was thinking about running if you guys know the Dark States grade 2 Interceptor. There's if you counterblast, it gets 5K shield, so you can play it from hand that's the only 10K guard. That's really good. I was thinking about playing that in this deck, but I went with Beat Scram. Beat Scram because like he doesn't need to counterblast and it's alive by turn 2. You have 5 in soul if you have 1 soul charger, 1 soul charge 2, preferably Brother Soul, and so by 5 it's alive and like it's I could have run front for the 15K guard, but I like to draw to get to the main point of the deck getting 15 soul. So this was really good. No counterblast. Blitz order 3 of. It's not too much. It's not cloggy. And like this one, like save games. Like I didn't have to take a damage, or I saved myself a damage basically. And that's it for that.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for your deck profile. Can't wait to see how you do next time when you're here and your team. Any shout outs you want to give? I know
shout outs to my guys back at Kong's, Pleasanton, Team Desolation, all the playtesting we had, all like the casual games we had. I hope to be back again, and I hope to see you again soon, Matt.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming. And for everyone out there, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification. Definitely means a lot to us when you do that, because it makes sure that we try to bring out more content. Definitely give us some advice, some comments as well. Right now, I'm just recording off my phone because it's just quick, simple, straight to the point. And when I ever get the chance, I just post it up there. But yeah, so take care, everyone. Thank you again, and yeah.
All right, cool.